Good day, and welcome back to the channel where we don't just report the news, we rip it open and show you the rot underneath. Forget the official narrative you've been force-fed by a palace PR machine working in overdrive. Today, we're peeling back the gilded, gold-leaf veneer to expose the raw, aching, and frankly terrified heart of a monarchy in the throes of a terminal crisis. Yes, the nation celebrated a glorious sporting victory. Yes, the lionesses, with a skill and grit that puts the royals' pampered lives to shame, brought football home. For a fleeting moment, the country roared with a pride it hasn't felt in years. But while the stadiums erupted in genuine, honest joy, a far more desperate and cynical drama was unfolding behind the locked doors and soundproofed walls of Buckingham Palace. Don't be fooled by the fireworks and the professionally curated soundbites. This story is about the deafening silence, the simmering resentment, and the cold, hard panic that follows when the cameras finally turn away. Let's start with that picture-perfect photo opportunity, shall we? Prince William, the ever-dutiful heir, and his delightful daughter, Princess Charlotte, smiling and cheering from the stands. The palace press office, with predictable sycophancy, sold it as a heartwarming display. But look closer. Peel away the layers of protocol. What you're really seeing is a masterclass in royal stagecraft, a desperate piece of propaganda from a dynasty on the ropes. This isn't just a father and daughter enjoying a match, it's a calculated, almost frantic message. It's the monarchy putting its line of succession on full, unavoidable display, a carefully curated image of stability designed to reassure a nervous public that the future is secure, even as the present crumbles into dust. Every wave, every forced smile for the camera, every shared glance is a performance meticulously choreographed to distract you from the bitter reality of a family that is actively, viciously at war with itself. Consider the immense pressure on that little girl, Charlotte. Already being trained to perform, to represent, to be a symbol before she can even truly be a child. She sits there, a pawn in a much larger, colder game, her innocent joy weaponized to project an image of family unity that is a blatant, insulting lie. This is the grim reality of being born into the firm. Your childhood is not your own, it is an asset to be deployed. And where was the other half of that generation? While William and Charlotte performed their roles to perfection, a deafening, deliberate silence echoed across the Atlantic from Montecito. No public congratulations from Harry and Meghan. Not a word. Not a tweet. Nothing. Palace insiders, the ones who aren't paid to lie, confirm this silence wasn't an oversight, it was a statement. A cold shoulder so brutal, so calculated, it was felt in the deepest corridors of the palace. For William, every cheer for the lionesses was likely punctuated by the bitter thought that his own brother, the one who should have been standing there, sharing in this national moment, was gone, exiled by a feud that has become a cancer on the crown. A feud that, sources say, has become so toxic that the two brothers cannot even bear to be on the same continent. And while William played the part of the flawless future king, shouldering a burden that grows heavier by the day, his own father, King Charles III, was miles away. He watched the match from what the palace blandly calls the tranquil comfort of Sandringham. Tranquil? Or was it the lonely, echoing isolation of a man grappling with his own mortality, haunted by the failures of his reign and his family? They tell us he watched with bated breath, but they won't tell you the weight of fear and regret behind that breath. This wasn't just a football game for him. It was a projection of his own desperate, personal battle. A battle against time, against illness, and against the crushing weight of a legacy he feels is slipping through his fingers. From this gilded cage, the king issued a message. Not a stuffy, formal note, but one dripping with a raw, almost painful sincerity that only those who know the real story can fully decipher. He spoke of the famous chant, "Football's coming home." But when he wrote those telling words, "There are no setbacks, so tough that defeat cannot be transformed into victory," was he really talking about football? Sources inside the palace, the ones who see the king when the cameras are gone, whisper that this message was far more personal. This was a king, staring down the barrel of a life-threatening illness, speaking about his own fight for time. This was a father, watching his two sons locked in a bitter, unforgiving feud that he is powerless to stop, pleading with them, through a public statement to a football team, to understand resilience. Every word about awesome teamwork was a dagger to the heart of a family that has forgotten the very meaning of the word. His public praise of a team's unity was a private cry of despair over his own family's catastrophic division. And that line, "You have my whole family's warmest appreciation and admiration," has a more hollow, more tragically ironic phrase ever been uttered. Whole family. It's a farce. A significant part of that family is in California, actively working to build a rival court, their names spoken only in hushed, angry tones within palace walls. This wasn't a congratulation, it was a confession. A broken man using a national triumph to voice his deepest fears and hopes, projecting onto a football team the unity and strength his own dynasty has irrevocably lost. His playful challenge for them to win the World Cup in 2027 sounds less like ambition and more like a wistful, desperate prayer from a man who wonders if he'll even be there to see it. And let's talk about the most crucial missing piece of this puzzle: Catherine, the Princess of Wales. The woman many see as the monarchy's greatest asset. While the nation celebrated, she remained behind the scenes, fighting her own silent, courageous battle. Her absence creates a vacuum that no amount of royal pomp can fill. The strain on William is unimaginable. He is forced to be the smiling, stoic face of the future, comforting a nation, while his father and his wife are both facing down the same terrifying disease. How can any celebration feel real? Every public duty is a performance, every handshake a monumental effort to hold back a tide of personal grief and fear. So, while the lionesses celebrated a well-earned, honest victory, the royal family used it as a smokescreen. A precious moment of national pride, expertly weaponized to paper over the deep, festering cracks in the House of Windsor. They offered us a beautiful story of triumph and resilience, hoping we wouldn't notice the tragedy unfolding just off camera. This event isn't a testament to the monarchy's enduring spirit. It's a testament to its highly polished, deeply cynical survival instinct. This is a family that has perfected the art of the performance, using public joy as a shield against private agony. But shields, like masks, can crack. And the cracks are getting wider every day. They run through the very foundations of the institution, from the public's growing questions about the obscene cost of their lifestyle to the bitter infighting between the different royal households. So as you reflect on this historic moment, ask yourself, who were they really trying to convince with all this pomp and celebration? The public, or themselves? Because from where we're standing, it looks a lot like a family staring into the abyss, desperately trying to pretend they're not falling. Thank you for watching. If you want to keep digging beneath the surface of the world's most famous and fractured family, make sure to like and subscribe. Because the real story, the one they don't want you to hear, is just beginning. Until next time, stay vigilant.